Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a whole bunch of callers on hold for this first show of 2020. We're now in the roaring 20s again after 100 years, and I think the last time it was really fun. So hopefully we'll have even more fun this round. And so we'll get to everybody that's on hold here in a second and see what their New Year's questions are. Today is January 2nd, so pretty close to the beginning of the new year to start off here with questions. Before I do, the first Thursday of every month, I do a drawing and pick a winner of somebody who gets a free 1-hour session with me. And this month, for January of 2020, it's Georgia Zacks, Z-A-C-K-S. And Georgia wrote, I just discovered this podcast a couple weeks ago and I can't stop listening. Julie Ryan is about as down-to-earth as one can be while channeling such a high vibration. She's using her gift to help people and has inspired me to aim to connect more deeply with my own intuition. Thank you from Guanajuato, Mexico. And I'm sure I butchered pronouncing that, but it looks like Guanajuato. Yeah, Guanajuato. Maybe I didn't butcher it as much as I thought. Mexico. So, Georgia, you have won a free 1-hour session with me, which is valued at $155. And why I do this every month is just as a thank you to all of you that are listening, because I so appreciate you tuning in and calling in and being a part of this community. And so it's a way for me to give back. And also, I know a lot of people don't have an extra $100, especially after the holidays. So if you want a session with me and you want to win one, all you have to do is 3 easy things. You need to sign up for my blog at AskJulieRyan.com. It's listed as my newsletter. Follow me on Instagram at AskJulieRyan, and then write a review on iTunes. And just go to itunes.com/AskJulieRyan, and you'll see a place to leave a review. So, Georgia, email me, Julie@AskJulieRyan.com, and we'll set up a date and time for us to chat for an hour. Looking forward to talking with you. Okay, let's go to the phones and see who we have and see what questions they have this evening. Our first caller is Susie. Hi, Susie. Hi, Susie.
Oh, hi, Julie. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I wanted to tell you, thank you so much. I do have a question about Griffey, my dog, but first I wanted to thank you. When I got to talk to you last time, I asked you if there'd be rain on my Christmas party because I was going to have over 100 people, and I wanted to know if I could, have the backyard available. And I gave you the choice of asking a question about my health or that, because I thought that the weather might be too specific and that someone who's intuitive might not want such a specific question because they could be wrong. And you chose that. I was so impressed. And you said it was going to be a beautiful night, and it was. And there was rain predicted during the week, and there was rain the next day. But the night of the party was beautiful, and you had said it was going to be fabulous, and it was. And I just wanted you to know how much I appreciate that, because the family, I kept saying, they were predicting rain, and I kept saying to everyone, Julie Ryan says there's not going to be rain on the party, so I believe Julie Ryan. I kept saying that all week long, and so thank you. You're really amazing that, like I said, you had the choice, and you chose that one because it was very specific, and I was so grateful. It really helped me to feel good about the party, leading up to it.
So wonderful.
Yeah,
well,
thank you.
report what I get, Suze. You know that. You've talked to me long enough to know that I just report what I get.
Well, you're very amazing, and you're so confident in your ability. You know, that's just really awesome. So thank you. It was really wonderful.
Well,
and we ended up winning Best Lights, by the way, on the TV. A friend sent me something yesterday saying that the news showed we were best in the hood for the lights in our town. So that was fun.
Send me a picture on an email, and I'll post it.
Okay, thank you. And so the question I had was for Griffey, our golden retriever. He's 3.5, and on December 6th, he had a seizure for the first time, and I thought he was dying in front of me. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever been through, thinking I was supposed to save his life and didn't know, what to do. And then he had another one on the 18th at 4 a.m., so one of them was 11 a.m., one of them is 4 a.m., and I'm just wondering if you show anything about, the vet just said it just could be something he continues to have, and we don't know, we're just hoping that maybe my husband got him a thunder vest since then. He seems to like it. It's supposed to help them feel secure, and he started giving him coconut oil, a tablespoon every morning, every night, and I'm just wondering if you see anything about that, or if you think he's going to, hopefully he's not going to have them, but whatever you see about that, if that's in his best interest to do the coconut oil, wear the thunder vest, if you see him having any more, or medication, whatever.
First of all, what did the vet say? They just didn't know?
He just said this could just be a brain disorder that he's all of a sudden got, and he may have it for the rest of his life. And if he has more than one seizure in 6 months, to maybe get on medication. And now he's had, he had 2 close together, the 6th and the 18th, but he hasn't had one since he got the thunder vest, and he hasn't, and since he started the coconut oil. But it's always one of those things where we just don't know. And I'm just hoping.
What's a thunder vest?
It's something it's like something that they wear around them like a vest, and it's kind of a tight thing that makes them feel secure. One of my husband's coworkers recommended it, and he seems a lot calmer on it with it. So he seems to like it.
It sounds like the weighted sleepers that I'm seeing advertised for babies.
I think so.
They're like blanket sleepers you can put on babies, and they're weighted, and they seem to help them sleep better and be calmer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he's sleeping better with it too. He's sleeping more through the night. So, it's really nice.
Okay.
Do you see anything about the seizures?
Susie, please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Oh, I'm sorry, the San Francisco Bay Area.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you, and from you to Griffey the dog. I love his name. So how I do this, for those of you that are first-time listeners, is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because when we're attached to a body, when our spirits are attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly because the body has mass. So by raising my vibrational level, I'm able to connect with any spirit anywhere, animal, human, deceased, alive, it doesn't matter. Not that a spirit's deceased, but the deceased person's spirit. How about that? So here we go, Suze. I'm sending my laser beam from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's coming out to you in the Bay Area. Got you. All right. Now I watch laser beam go from you to Griffey. Got Griffey. Okay, Griffey. Griffey's spirit is out of his body, Susie.
Really? What does that mean?
Well,
it's only 3.5.
On the 12 phases of transition, when somebody is dying, how the spirit separates from the body and holds on to the top of the head, looks like a bubble in a cartoon caption where the words or the cartoon character's thoughts are. And that's what I see with animals when animals are dying. So
really, because the vet said he was fine. He did blood work, and he said everything was fine, but you're saying he's dying?
He's dying at the moment. His spirit is out of his body. So let me see if I can get some information from him. When an animal or a human spirit is in the spirit bubble configuration on the top of the head, I'm unable to scan them medically from a visual standpoint, Suze, because it would be like looking at an X-ray in a pitch black room. The spirit is the power source for the body, whether it's a human or an animal. So when I see that, I'm unable to get a read on him. But let's ask him some questions. The thought that I got when you were telling me about him was he got into some kind of poison. He's eaten something that has, made him really sick.
So, you mean right now or on the 6th?
No, I think earlier when he got sick and started having those brain seizures. I think he got into something. And God only knows, what they get into. So, are you dying? Yes. Are you going to die? Hope not, is what he's saying. And I've had this happen before where animals, their spirit's out of their body, they go to the vet says they're fine, and it's usually when they've eaten some kind of poison, and their body's trying to process it. So what does your family do for you? Give me lots of water to help me flush it out of my system. So that's all I'm getting right now. I'm sorry. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but I would keep a really close eye on him.
Okay, well, he keeps getting into, like the night before the seizure, he did eat a bunch of chocolate that he found, like a whole box of See's candy he found and opened it, and I was shocked. And the vet said, well, he's fine because it was the next day, but, okay.
Yeah, chocolate's poison to dogs.
Right, I know. He's got like 9 lives, the fact how much chocolate he's gotten. He gets into things.
His body's still processing it. He's not out of the woods yet. So I just would keep an eye on him. He's saying give him lots of water.
Okay.
And it'll help flush. Check back in with me, and I can check on him. Just shoot me an email if you want an update, and I can check on him in a few days. We'll know more. On that. But animals don't go through the 12 phases of transition like humans do, where they're surrounded by angels or dog angels or deceased loved pets in their litter like humans do. We're surrounded by our deceased loved ones. But, it's the same spirit bubble configuration. And anybody that's listening that doesn't know what we're talking about, if you go to my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and you click on the 12 phases of transition, there are graphics there, and you can see what I'm talking about with this spirit bubble configuration as somebody is dying. And I see the same thing with animals, and that's what I'm seeing with Griffey right now, Suze.
Wow, okay. But so it's not necessarily something to take him to the vet for, since they already did blood work and said he was fine?
I would watch him for a few days very closely. If he starts having some symptoms, I would get him in fast.
Okay. And you can't say what he ate that's, go ahead.
Got poison. So, you already validated that. It was all that chocolate, not to mention maybe something else.
Yeah.
So he's gotten into some poison for him. And poison can be chocolate for a dog. Can kill him.
And you're going to say, is it in his best interest to go to the vet? Were you asking that question?
It's in his best interest to go to the vet in the next couple of days. I get a yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Something else is going on. He's not processing these toxins as well as we think he is.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Julie. Really appreciate you. Happy New Year. You're amazing. I love your show. Okay. Take care.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, Sue.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All righty. Our next person is Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Julie. Hi.
How are you? Happy New Year.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Thanks. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Oh, yeah. Pass Christian, Mississippi.
Terrific. Well, I'm sure you guys got some rain down there because you sent it over here. It's been raining like crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, I hope you had a good holiday. It was nice over the holidays down here, so I guess I'll take the rain now instead of during the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a quick question for me?
I do. My grandmother, we believe, is starting her transition. They just cut her off of food today, so I'm wondering if you might be able to check in with her and see what that looks like.
Yes. Tell me her name, Tanya.
Her name is Doris.
Okay. And what do you call her?
Granny.
Granny. I love it. Okay. All right. I'm going to connect to you and from you to your granny, like what I just did with Susie to her dog. And so here comes my laser beam from Alabama. It doesn't have to go very far to get to you next door, Mississippi. All right. Got you. Okay. Got your granny. She is in phase 4 of the 12 phases of transition. So, Tanya, have you had a chance to read my book, Angelic Attendants, yet?
Yes, I have. I have the diagram.
Okay, so you've got the diagram. So for those of you that aren't familiar with them, Tanya's granny is surrounded by angels. They started out in a circle surrounding her. Now they've opened up to a horseshoe. Tanya, her spirit bubble is attached to the top of her head, like what I was just talking with Susie about. And then her parents their spirits are at her feet. So let's ask her some questions. Doris, are you ready to go? Yes. Are you in pain? No. Do you need, what do you need? Can your family help you with anything? She's saying my book. Is she coherent, Tanya? Is she conscious?
Yeah, she's not.
Okay, so let's get some more information. What book are you talking about? Do you want them to read a book to you? Yes. Okay, Again, I just report what I'm getting. Does she have a Gone with the Wind book? She said Gone with the Wind.
Oh, is that what she said?
That's what she said.
Okay.
True Southern Belle to the end, right?
Yeah, my mom would know. My mom's with her, so I can check in with my mom.
Ask your mom. If your mom doesn't have it, then have her download maybe a digital version of it and read to her from it.
Great.
She wants to know. She wants to hear the part she's telling me where Rhett is courting Scarlet.
Okay.
So not the battle and stuff, but the part where he's showering her with wonderful things and taking her on trips and trying to get her to marry him.
Okay. Well, yeah,
How
I'm
cute
going
is
to go
that?
spend the day with her tomorrow, so we'll do that.
Yeah, you may want to pick it up at the library or something if she doesn't have it in her house. And it would be interesting to find if that was one of her favorite movies.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
well,
so as you go through this, after reading the book, look for the little miracles. As you go through this, they will be plentiful. Stay open to them, little serendipities and other things that you think, oh my gosh, what a coincidence. No coincidences. Okay, so do that. And she can hear you, and she can hear you even now. So you can talk to her either aloud or telepathically. And just say, hey, Granny. And then she'll be able to hear you and understand you. Okay? And again, email me if you want an update. Just email me and I can scan her and I'll give you an update to help you get through all this.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you, Julie.
All right. You are so welcome. Hang in there.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Let's see who's next. I believe it's Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Julie. My name is Michelle from Stamford, Connecticut.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Terrific. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You as well. I wanted to ask, and I'm not all that familiar with all of your work, but I've been recently following you, but I am a believer in the whole realm. I've just been so impressed with your kindness and the vibes you give out to me just from Instagram that I wanted to connect tonight. But I did want to ask that if you thought that I would be changing jobs this year.
Oh, well, let's find out. So Michelle, so what we're going to do is we're going to ask God, the universe, your spirit guides, your angels, your deceased loved ones, the whole group. I like to let's just do a group question here. So let's even preface it. Is it in Michelle's best interest to work at a new job this year? I get a yes. Is there something you have in mind? Have you applied for a job? What's going on?
No, I haven't, and it's unlikely given my age and my circumstance, but I feel like there's something else out there for me. Life changed for me during the recession, and I had to do what I had to do, what I'm doing now and other things. But I had a fairly successful career prior to that, and I feel like I have one more running to me, if you know what I mean. One more go around in the real world.
Spirits are really literal, Michelle. They work on specifics. So if you have a specific question, we'll just ask it and we'll see what we can get information-wise. So is there
I believe in my current company to go to a more fashion-oriented company this year?
I get a no on it right now. But here's the deal. things that have happened in the past are set in stone. Things that are happening right now are set in stone. Things that are happening in the future, or things that are going to happen in the future, are fluid. All right? Mm-hmm. So there are about a bazillion variables that can come into play to affect an outcome. Mm-hmm. And one of the top variables is if you want it, you got to take action on it. So if you want to go to work for another company that's more centered in the fashion industry, you got to take some action on creating that momentum. So, be searching what's available, be searching about what the possibilities are, that kind of thing. And what happens then, Michelle, is you're creating the energy that's going to create whatever it is you want. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that old law of attraction thing. So have you taken any steps on that front yet? Have you researched anything?
Yes and no. I can't change the more secure situation I have. I am 62 years old. I had a great run. I was very successful at one point, and life changed, so I had to do what I had to do. But it's unlikely. I do. I reach out. Yes, I did most recently. But maybe that person's mind thought will change. Who knows? But the way the universe works these days, I don't have the right specs.
Something else may come up that you haven't envisioned yet. And so when you say, it's highly unlikely, then what you're doing is you're wobbling your intention. All right? So stay focused on here's what you want. And if you stop with the, it's highly unlikely, it's like being on a teeter-totter and you're teeter-tottering both ways. When you stay focused on what it is you want, that energy stays pure. That's when the magic happens.
True. Very true.
So I would do that. At this stage of the game, I'm getting for you to, to take steps to create it. Not necessarily, that doesn't mean leave your current job.
Understand, yeah.
That means, that means look for what's out there and stay focused on something is materializing and it's all unfolding perfectly.
Yeah, yes, definitely. It unfolds the way it should, that's for sure. Do you see my dad pushing the buttons at all, or do you see my dad? We lost him 2 years ago. And still so shocking to us. He was very vital.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you see him?
Yeah. He's around you all the time. He's saying you have to create what you want. That's just basically what I just said. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's concurring. He's agreeing. Yeah. And like what I was saying with Tanya, our caller right before you, he can hear you. You say something to him either aloud or in your head. He's going to respond within a second, and it's going to come in as a thought because spirits communicate telepathically. So if you think about his answer for more than a second or two, that's going to be your brain answering you. But he's going to answer you, and remember, spirits are really literal. So ask him specific things, make specific comments, and then if he says something or you get a response that you don't really know what it means, validate it. Get more precise on asking questions. Drill down so that you get the exact meaning.
Got it.
Okay. I hope that helps. Let us know what happens.
Definitely will do. I talk to him and many others all the time. I know they're around me.
Good.
I know they're around me.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. Let's see who else we got. I think our next person's Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Ooh, I had myself on mute on my phone, too. Hi, Julie. It's nice to hear your voice. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to be on your show again. I'm happy to just be in the energy of all of that. And I just really appreciate your kindness towards people and the fact that you give back on this show. So thank you.
Oh, well, thanks. Please tell everybody where you're calling in from.
Yeah, I'm calling in from New York, just outside the city.
Okay, terrific. You got a question for me, or are you just listening?
I do actually have a question. I know when we did our private session together, you helped me a little bit with my dog, Chucky, and it was incredible. His eye actually you had gone in and he had kind of like a bubble, kind of like a blister. We weren't sure if it was scar tissue or what on his eye. And after our call and after you worked on it energetically, it actually went down a little bit.
Oh, good.
It's really cool to see it, like very gradually went down. And so he had a little incident after that. My landscaper, my gardener, left the back door gate open, and Chucky actually came around to the front of my house to a retaining wall that I have, and he jumped off. And he took a fairly hard fall on his, I believe it's his right side. And I've been watching him ever since. The vet said, he just bring him in if there's any kind of seems like there's any kind of a problem. But I'm wondering if you could just check him out and do a little scan on him, see if he's okay, make sure there's no internal damage.
Sure. Yeah, I've already got him on my radar just for time's sake. And where the energy went, Amanda, was to his back right leg.
Okay.
So does he seem to be limping at all?
He doesn't. I mean, he's not limping at all.
All right. I don't see anything that's broken. What I'm getting, and you're going to laugh, is I'm getting that he needs a chiropractic adjustment for a dog. And I know they have dog chiropractors because, my daughter-in-law, Mallory, is a vet, and she just graduated last spring. And they teach chiropractic and acupuncture in vet school on how to use them for the animals, which I thought was really, really forward thinking. I was impressed with that. So I get that he needs a chiropractic adjustment because that's what I just watched happen with his back. Okay. Like his back hips are out of alignment. His pelvis is kind of twisted a little bit. I don't know if a dog has a pelvis, but what we would think if we stood him up and he walked on his hind legs, the back part. I'll have to ask Mal, Dr. Mal, what is a dog's pelvis? Maybe it is called a pelvis. I don't know. But I would find a dog chiropractor and get him an adjustment. But I think that's it. I think he did really well in his Mighty Dog stint there.
Okay, good. So internal organs look good and all that?
I think he's good, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I'll figure out what a doggy chiropractor is.
All right, let us know what happens.
Okay, thanks, Julie.
Okay, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. All righty, let's see who's next. I believe it's Dave. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Can you hear me okay? No.
I can, yes.
Okay.
Well, hello.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Thanks. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Villa Park, Illinois, which is right outside of the Chicago area.
Terrific. And Dave is one of my angelic attendant students. He is a graduate. So he has an extra shiny halo over his head, don't you, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
When you look in the mirror. So, anyways, you got a question for me?
Well, I guess so. I could ask anything, right?
Yes, you can. As long as it's legal and ethical. I mean, if you're asking for illegal stuff, I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, as you know, I'm an acupuncturist in this current incarnation of careers. I'm currently an acupuncturist and herbalist, and I see about 35, 40 patients a week, and both teaching and at the teaching hospital. And I tried the Western medicine thing, but I almost feel guilty asking for myself because there's so many people less fortunate than me. But I'm going through this healthcare crisis, and I think I've talked to you about this before. And it's fortunate because I'm on break from school right now, from teaching, and I sort of cut my hours at the hospital. So it's been sort of low-key these last 2 weeks, and I haven't been working that much in the last during the holidays here. But I talked to you about this before, but my major symptoms are this, the shortness of breath with slight exertion, And also recently, like in the last month, I've been feeling extremely lightheaded, and it's almost to the point of dizziness, but I'm not dizzy. And I've tried all the Chinese medicine stuff, and I've had the best people working with me and stuff, and to no avail. So I've gone the Western route, and I've been to, cardiologists and to had blood tests. So they were all normal. I've been to an ENT. I've been to a pulmonologist, and everything comes out pretty normal with the normal limits. And the only thing is the pulmonologist said that it might be neurological, and he's going to recommend I see a neurologist, which he's trying to get me into, because a lot of these people are booked for a year. So the only thing in my history is neurologically is that I was diagnosed with MS about 30 years ago. And I was lucky to have what's called relapsing remitting MS, and since I radically changed my diet and things, I've never been on any drugs, and I've never had any signs or symptoms since a couple of initial bouts with it. And maybe, rearing, I don't know, it may be showing maybe manifesting to me. I don't know. I am scheduled for another test, like next Friday, for an MRI, which I think is a big test to show what's going on, because everything else is negative. So I was just wondering if you sense or feel anything in this, what's going on with me. It's to the point where now it's affecting my, my activities of daily living, and it's hard to get through work, but I'm still able to do it. So that's it.
When I'm already connected to you, Dave, and while you were talking, I was connecting to you and taking a peek to see if anything came up. That I don't get that this is related to MS symptoms. I get that it's a pulmonary issue, and what I saw when I first got you on my radar was, and this sounds crazy, like a little bit of a perforation in your right lung. Not all the way through, but if we, I don't know enough about this. We'd have to research it. You may, from the work that you do, but
I do have. I'm a former respiratory therapist too. I mean, I used to do that in my former. But my last 2 chest X-rays were clear also.
You know how the skin. You know how the skin has different layers, like the epidermis and the dermis and the whatever.
Yes.
What does the lung have for that?
Well, the
it's
lung
in
has
the front.
It has a pleural covering over it. That, it's a tough pleural covering, and if that's pierced, then you get a pneumothorax. But then outside of that is a chest wall and things like that. So it's pretty hard to cause a pneumothorax, which means sort of a opening in the lungs, which causes a big pressure difference, and they usually have to evacuate and stuff like that. But it's usually seen on X-ray as a bleb, or a pressure building up in the lungs or something, almost like a dark spot in the lungs or something.
That's what I'm seeing, and it's not all the way through. It's not perforated all the way through, but it's like perforated just on the upper layers, like it would be the equivalent of the epidermis on skin. So what I've been doing while we've been talking, because I'm multitasking because I can, because I'm a girl. You know how that works. Of course. Yeah. So I put some stem cell energy in there. It's a little hole, and I am watching a vortex above it that's spinning and centrifuging that stem cell energy. Stem cell energy looks to me, Dave, like light amber-colored gel, and it has sparkles in it, and it is the absolute coolest stuff because it'll regenerate whatever body part we need. So I put that in. It's now healed. I've watched a patch go on top of it, and you just got an energetic healing on your right lung. It's midway down. If I'm looking at your lung from behind, so as you would imagine your right lung, if I divided it horizontally into 3 sections, it's in the lower third.
Yeah, you got 3 lobes in your right lung, so it's in the lower.
Yeah, it's in the lower one.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing. So hopefully, when you get the MRIs and the extra tests and stuff, nothing's going to show up, and hopefully this healing's going to help. Now, as you know from taking the class, healings happen on the energetic level. And for them to integrate into the body, it can happen instantly. It can take days, weeks, months. There may be some kind of adjunct care needed, like therapy or surgery or whatever, or bandages or whatever's going on. But certainly
you don't see anything significant with the brain, though.
I don't. I don't get this as MS related. I get this is pulmonary.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. So I hope that helps. Keep us posted. Let us know what's going on.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you so
Let me
much
know what your MRI says.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. So to finish my thought about energetic healings, everybody, it's always at the end of the day with this and with everything else that we experience in our life. It's our spirit's prerogative to utilize the healing in a way that's going to best facilitate whatever it is we want to experience in this lifetime. And that goes for everything. Driving to the grocery store, taking your dog for a walk, buying a dress, whatever. It's always our spirit's prerogative to utilize whatever we're experiencing to further what our spirit wants to experience in this lifetime. That's a lot of experiences in one sentence, but that's how it works. And so that's why sometimes you'll hear people say, okay, you talked to me and my dog's eye was better almost immediately. Okay, fine. You may hear somebody say, oh my gosh, you worked on me and I felt immediate pain relief. Great. Other people will say, okay, it took 6 months for me to be able to get pain-free. So everybody's different, and it's always up to our spirit how we utilize the healing. So just a little note on that. All right. Every week we do this show, except on holidays, and we do it every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-770-4160. And the access code is 533677#. You can find this information a whole bunch of different places, AskJulieRyan.com. If you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you'll see this call-in information. I always post it on Instagram, Facebook. It's on the show notes. This information's in the show notes. We're distributed on, dozens and dozens of networks. I think it's 70-some networks. So wherever you download podcasts, just pull up the show notes, and you'll see the call-in information. And then also each week I send out a blog, a newsletter, and it's a question that I've answered that somebody has submitted online, and it's in the body of the email there as well. When you're on my site, sign up for my blog, register for the drawing for a free session, and schedule a private appointment. And then we'll have a whole hour to discuss whatever you want. And that can be relating to deceased loved ones, a medical scan, PET scan, what you hear on the show. It's your hour. We can talk about as many things as you want. Also, when you're on my site, check out my training, Angelic Attendant Training, because a new class is starting February 8th. It's 4 Saturdays in February, couple of hours online. We're all together. The class is a little more than half full. So if any of you are thinking about joining us, please do. It is a life-changing experience. It will enhance your life in countless ways. And even if you don't want to do this work, it doesn't matter. It will help you in whatever you're interested in and to live a more joyful life. So check that out too. All right, this week the question came from Lisa, and Lisa lives in Odenville, Alabama. And she says, hi, Julie. We hope you had a Merry Christmas. Our court date is quickly approaching, and our attorney contacted us with an extremely low offer from the company we're suing. And she put in parentheses, plaintiff. Our attorney asked what would make us happy, and we are supposed to communicate with him soon. We have told the truth about everything. I could have been killed by this company, I assume that's the company she's suing, being extremely negligent, and I've had issues with terrible anxiety since the event happened. And she put in parentheses, actually there were 2 events. She went on to say, we're not sure what anxiety and stress are worth, and our attorney doesn't believe they will offer anything over $60,000. The company we're suing caused approximately $12,000 to $15,000 in damage to our property, in addition to the anxiety and stress this nightmare has created. What are your thoughts and suggestions about our situation? Thank you for your time, and thank you for your podcast. And here's my response. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for your sweet holiday wishes. My family and I had a wonderful time together. Regarding your pending legal issue, I have a few thoughts I've gathered from personal experience and from your spirit guides. First, when I asked your spirit guides if it was in your best interest to settle the case, I got a yes. When I asked if your current lawyer was competent and acting in your best interest, I also got a yes. I then asked if you would realize a higher amount of money settling the case rather than proceeding to trial, and I got a yes. The American Bar Association says 97% of all civil cases are settled prior to going to trial. In your case, I imagine the plaintiff's insurance company is the one offering a settlement. Every good negotiator will start off with a low offer and go up from there if necessary. In addition, insurance companies will always do their best to avoid going to trial. It's expensive and risky. They don't want to pay attorney fees or risk a sympathetic jury siding with you and awarding some astronomical sum to you. Now, here's my take. As you may know, I'm a businesswoman and entrepreneur. During my career, over the past almost 4 decades, I've had a fair amount of experience dealing with attorneys and a variety of legal matters, including trial experience. In January of 1990, I spent 10 days in federal court when I sued a multi-billion-dollar global corporation for breach of contract, and I won! Exclamation point. I walked in the courtroom, you guys. It was in Boston, and in January of 1990, and I walked in the courtroom, and I wasn't even 30 yet, and they had 5 lawyers in there, this big, huge company, and I had my one lawyer, and we had flown in from L.A., and I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be interesting. But I won. It was great. I went on to say, I've also been involved in a couple of other lawsuits I initiated and settled those satisfactorily. I suggest you settle your case for as much as you can without going to trial. Although there are settlement calculators available online, it's hard to prove and put a monetary value on emotional suffering. In addition, it's very expensive to have your case be tried in a court. It's a crapshoot because attorney fees and expenses quickly add up, and the plaintiffs will normally have way more financial resources than you. They'll stretch out the proceedings with delays, changes of venue, etc., as much as possible with the hope you'll run out of money. That happened to me because we filed suit in L.A., and they had the venue changed to Boston, and they were hoping that I would go away, but they seriously underestimated this blonde. I finished with, at the end of the day, your legal fees and expenses will be minimized by settling sooner rather than later, and you'll most likely end up with more money in your bank account. Hope this information helps. Good luck. So, Lisa from Odenville, Alabama, I can't wait to hear what the outcome is, and I hope you get a lot of money from your settlement, and I hope, more importantly, your anxiety ceases. Okay, let's go back to the phone and see who's next. I believe it's Christina. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Julie. I'm near Austin, Texas, and I have a health question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have had chronic fatigue syndrome for a number of years, and it continues to slowly get worse. Currently, I'm about 16 hours a day in bed, and then the other 8 hours I'm usually like on the couch. So it's not like the 8 hours that I'm up doing things. I'm pretty much housebound. Mm-hmm. And so a friend of mine mentioned your podcast and thought that I should have you scan and see if you had any suggestions for maybe reversing this condition.
Yeah, how long have you had it, Christina?
Probably 7 or 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
It took me a little while to realize what it was because I've also dealt with depression since I was a teenager, and at first I thought it was those symptoms because initially it was similar where like I can't get out of bed, I can't get doing stuff, and then I realized no, this is completely different. This is more physical. Like I physically can't do that stuff.
And so your doctors are just calling it chronic fatigue, and they're just saying you have to live with it. There isn't anything you can do about it?
Well, they've done a number of things. So I went to a thyroid specialist, and when he first tested my thyroid several years ago, I was hypothyroid, but just barely, and he put me on over-the-counter medications, and I kept getting worse, and he tested me a year later, and by then my thyroid had stopped working completely. And then I thought, well, great, because that would definitely make you fatigued, and so that's something we can fix. So he got me on the Nature Throid and got my blood levels good, and I felt no difference. Got me on hormones for, I had a surgical menopause in 2011 and have had issues with that, so it got me on that. I also have adrenal fatigue, leaky gut.
Okay. All right. So I've gotten you on my radar while you've been talking just to save time. Your whole body is super inflamed. Inflammation looks to me like red fog, and it's usually over a body part like a knee or a head or something. Your whole body is inflamed. I'm
glowing.
You're glowing, yeah. You're like a red Christmas light, although Christmas is over, so let's put it out now. So I put anti-inflammatory energy on you, which is a royal blue color, just to get it calmed down so I could see what's going on underneath it. Looks to me like you've had some kind of toxic exposure. Do you live near something that's toxic, like chemical plant it doesn't look nuclear to me. Normally, if I see somebody that's lived near a nuclear plant or sometimes a nuclear silo, I can see radiation. Looks like their skin and their organs look like they are burned or charred. I don't see that. This looks more like some kind of an environmental toxin that I'm seeing.
There is they mine for lignite not too far from here, which is a dirty form of coal.
Okay.
Basically.
All right. What I want you to do is email me at julie@askjulieryan.com. I'm going to send you a link for a gut biome test. And food is the best medicine. So this gut biome test is a poop test, Christina, and it's going to test what all the critters are in your gut, and it will test your immune system. It's because that's where our immune system's based. But most importantly, it's going to say, these are your superfoods to get a robust immune system. These are the foods for you to avoid. The inflammation normally centers in our gut. So how we heal that is with food. But we got to know what food's going to work best for us, because we may eat something that we think is healthy, and it is a healthy food, but it's not healthy for us based on our gut biome. So if you email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and anybody listening that wants this information, email me. And I'm going to send you a link for half off to get this test done. You get it done at home. You don't need a doctor's orders, and it's going to give you lots of information. That's the first place I think it makes sense to start. In the meantime, I've calmed down the inflammation. This is some kind of toxic environmental exposure you've got.
So, and I had peritonitis, and my intestines were shut down for several days.
Okay. If you can, schedule a private session with me, and we'll have an hour to do a real thorough deep dive to see what's going on. We can reverse engineer all of this, and we'll figure out where it's coming from. But I'm just seeing you're being exposed to something environmental that's making you sick.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for calling. Hope you feel better.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Lisa next. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, how are you, Julie?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm calling you from Maryland, and I have a question. I've been having, I was wondering if you could do a body scan for me. I've been having some issues on my right side, like lower abdomen to my lower back, and I don't know if it's like a muscle thing or if I have something else going on.
Okay. So I've got you on my radar. I'm looking at you from up above, and it looks to me like it's muscular.
Okay.
So do you see a chiropractor, Lisa?
No, I don't, but I see a physical therapist that also, has massage available and things like that.
Okay. I think you need to talk to them about a chiropractor. Your pelvis is twisted, And you're a twisted sister, girl. You're a twisted sister. So your pelvis.
I know sometimes my my sacrum is off sometimes.
Yeah. Your left hip is in front of your right hip. So you're at an angle. And so a chiropractor can fix that in about 30 seconds and get you back in alignment. And what happens when we're out of alignment is the muscles are trying to get us back into alignment, and that's when they cause pain. So that's what I'm seeing with that.
Well,
so
I know that I have a bum knee, and that I injured when I was a kid, and so I think I just walked it. Just little. A little degree of being off makes a big difference, I think.
It does. And we can just, get out of whack easily.
Right.
So ask around, find out who has a chiropractor they really like, and go pay a visit. In the meantime, I gave you an energetic chiropractic adjustment on your pelvis, and hopefully that will give you some pain relief in the short run.
Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to booking an hour with you soon.
Me too. Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. And I have just enjoyed listening to your podcast, and I have your book, and I think you're fascinating.
Well, thank you. Would you do me a favor, Lisa, and leave a review on Amazon for my book? It helps others find this information, and it's usually people that are in need of comfort. So anybody listening, if you've read my book, and by the way, my new book, Angel Messages for Kids, came out the week before Christmas. And it's a children's picture book. It's really cute. So if any of you have kids or grandkids, consider getting that. You can find links to both on Amazon or on my site, and it'll direct you to Amazon. Though that new book will be available all over here in the next few days. So, but right now it's available on Amazon. So thanks for calling, Lisa. I hope you feel better.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. All right. Let's see who's next. I believe it's Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I'm doing well. I'm calling from the Piedmont area of Virginia.
Okay, terrific. You got a quick question for me?
I do. I was wondering if you could do a medical scan and see if you see anything on my cervical spine and my lumbar spine.
Okay. Well, when you said cervical, it went to your cervix. And do you still have you still have your cervix? Is what it looks like to me.
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. When's the last time you had a PAP?
About 2 years ago.
Okay. Go get a PAP. I'm seeing. I don't see cancer, but I'm seeing some dysplasia. Where those cells, they're just kind of funky cells that they watch for. So go get that done. In the meantime, I'm watching a healing happen on your cervix. It's called a LEEP procedure, LEEP. You can look it up online, and it's like they slice off that upper layer of the cervix. They do it all the time, and it removes those weird cells. So hopefully by the time you get in and get a PAP, they won't find anything because we've just done a healing at you energetically. So that's a great example, Mary, of when I get somebody on my radar, the energy is always going to go where it's most needed first, even if it's something you're not aware of. And then things show up in order of importance. So you're talking about your lower back. You're having lower back pain?
I am, on the right side.
Right side. Okay. So I'm getting the inflammation calm down. Same thing. You got a little bit of a disc. First of all, you need to see a chiropractor. I don't know if you see one regularly or not, because you're a twisted sister like Lisa, who I was just talking to. And you've got a little bit of a bulging disc on the right side, low. So what I'm doing is I'm propping those vertebrae up. Here's the healing. The disc is going back in. And then there's this little netting that is applied at the end. And you know how a fish net, like you'd get a goldfish out of an aquarium, that really fine netting?
Yeah.
That's what's put on the end, and it will hold that disc in place. So I think the chiropractic adjustment will help with you being twisted. Your vertebrae are they're collapsing a little because you're a twisted sister. And so I think that's going to help. And then interestingly enough, when I go back and scan somebody, later. That netting's there even years later that I see input from the healing. So that will help. And then you said your cervical up in your neck?
Correct.
Is bothering you? Okay. So it looks to me like it's more inflamed on the left side of your neck. Is that where it's hurting? All right. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. Okay. So same thing. Your neck needs to be adjusted. It's your vertebrae on the left side. I don't see any bulging discs there, but it's just, you just need a good chiropractic adjustment. And I think it's going to help a lot. So I hope that helps. Okay. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. And let's see. Who else? I believe we've got Desiree. Hi, Desiree.
Hi.
I just got a couple minutes left. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Okay, I'll make it quick.
Let me know if you've got a quick question.
Buffalo, New York, and I'm calling with a quick question. I have a new job that I'm going to be training for in California the week of my birthday, which is the 13th, and just wanted to get an idea of how great it's going to be because I get to work at home now. So it'll be a remote job to work here in Buffalo because I want to be next to Truffles, if you remember, my little cute doggy.
Yes.
I just wanted to get some good. Yeah, I prayed for that job, and then God gave it to me because, I wanted to be home with her sarcoma on her leg. And I'll call you back with that. That'll be something else. But, yes, just wanted to get some insight on the new job.
I get you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Great way to start the new year. Where in California are you going to train?
I'm going to be in Orange County.
Wonderful. Terrific.
Yes.
You'll have a ball.
Okay.
Go visit Mickey while you're there. Mickey Mouse. Anna.
I wish I could. But thank you so much, Julia. Happy New Year.
Okay, thanks. Happy New Year to you, too. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Let me see. Deja, got 1 minute. Hi, girl.
Hey, thank you so much.
You got 1 minute.
Very recently, so I just wanted to ask you about my dog, Kira. She died in March, and I want to know if she is wanting to come back to me, and if she is, how will I know? And how
she's around you all the time. She says you think you hear her. You hear her little nails on the floor. And that's her letting you know that she's around you. She's around you all the time.
But will she come back in physical form as a dog?
No.
Does she want to be my dog again?
No. She doesn't need to because she's around you in spirit form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Please tell everybody where you're calling in from.
Oh, Sacramento, California.
Sacramento. Okay. Happy New Year. Thanks for calling.
Happy New Year to you. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye. Whew. Okay, everybody. That's the end of our first show of 2020. How exciting. And hope you all had a wonderful holiday and have an amazing first week of January. And call in next week. Thanks to everybody that called in. And I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter at AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook at AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.